Hey, is this thing on? Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to another weekly dose of self-improvement. Today we're going to be talking about how routines have a major impact on your goals. You all know that I really enjoy the 12-week year. I feel like it's fantastic for goal setting and increasing your productivity, but if you don't have the piece of routines, then it's probably not going to be as effective. You can set goals, intentions, manifestations, whatever you like to refer to them as. But if you don't have a system that you are following in order to make sure that you're successful in that area, then they're probably just going to be something that fades away and you're not going to be successful at reaching them or achieving them. So while the 12-week year is designed to increase your productivity and help you to accomplish more in 12 weeks than you have in 12 months, you're not going to be able to accomplish anything if it's not sustainable. So while it's great to have fantastic habits and routines for 12 weeks, you want to make sure that it's something that's enhancing your routines and your progress and your lifestyle overall on a long-term basis. But before we jump into the topic of routines, I definitely wanted to chat a bit about SMART goals and why I will no longer be sharing about SMART goals in relation to the Simplified 12-week year on my channel. I get a lot of comments from people who are like, oh, you should make your goals SMART. What about SMART goals? Can we do SMART goals? And I think that it's because we've often been taught that SMART goals are so effective, and they can be, but I also think that SMART goals have a purpose and they don't work for everyone. I believe it was actually in my last video where I talked about my 12-week year and the goals that I was creating for this round. I tried to go the SMART goal route because I felt like a lot of people were asking for that. But at the end of the day, I have to be true to myself, and I don't want to encourage SMART goals with what I've been sharing about the 12-week year, because the method that I'm using is Simplified. Whenever I decided to make my first video ever about the 12-week year, I titled it the Simplified 12-week year. And along with that, I created a simplified document in order for you all to be able to track your goals and see your progress over the course of 12 weeks. So the overall idea is that it's supposed to be simple. So while yes, the tracking system that I created was simple, I also want the goal setting process to be simple as well, so that everyone feels like it's something that they're able to do, they're able to sustain, and they're able to be successful in. Obviously, I am very familiar with the idea and the whole purpose of SMART goals. I was a teacher and in educational leadership for over 10 years, and that was something that we encouraged the students to do regularly. But I also think back to the negative impact that I personally observed from students trying to develop SMART goals. The process itself can be overwhelming, and it can be something that is demotivating if you're feeling like, wow, I can't even go through the process of creating a SMART goal. What does the S stand for? What does the A stand for? Okay, how am I gonna make this measurable? What does it mean by time bound? Is that the same thing as measurable? If you're going through all of those thoughts in your mind, then you're not going to be able to sit down and think, what is a goal that I wanna reach? A goal that makes sense for me, that is going to have a positive impact on my life and help me to be successful. Because you're so focused on the process, you're not able to get to the point. I noticed that so many students would adopt this defeatist mindset around the entire idea of goal setting simply because of the SMART goal process. Now, if you have been doing SMART goals forever and you feel like, well, I didn't adopt a defeatist mindset, it really works for me, then that is completely fine. Feel free to set your SMART goals. But when I am sharing a simplified method to make this something that is easier for people to be able to do and easier to see a change and impact in their life, I'm not gonna add a piece to it that makes it increasingly difficult or makes it seem like something that they would not be able to do. I would never want the 12-week year or goal setting or intention setting to be something that feels overwhelming, and I don't want the way that I share it to seem overwhelming either. I want you to be able to set simple, attainable goals that you are going to be able to reach and celebrate, of course, but I also want you to set goals that are sustainable and that you're able to see a long-term impact of a routine in your life that's going to benefit you overall. So while I know SMART goals have been tried and true and they work really well for a lot of people, if you're looking for SMART goals related to the 12-week year, then this is not the method for you. I definitely want it to be simple and something that people feel like they're able to do. They feel safe and supported throughout this process. And so with me leading by example, I am also going to share goals with you all that I have personally that are just that. They're simple. I'm able to connect a routine to it. I'm able to sustain it long term. And then I can share the positive impact that it has made in my life personally. And I want you all to have that same experience as well. Okay, so now that we have gotten that out of the way, let's hop back into routines and how routines can be very helpful to enhance your simplified 12-week year. The first thing that you're gonna have to do is to definitely reframe your thinking. A routine doesn't have to be something that's a full lifestyle change. You most likely already have somewhat of a structure, routine, or schedule in place for certain goals that you want to reach. But making that routine something that makes sense for you to be able to continue on a regular basis is where the importance comes in. So to help you kind of understand what I mean by the importance of routines impacting your simplified 12-week year, I'm going to be using two different examples from the goals that I'm currently working toward in my current 12-week year, and I'm going to share how implementing routines has helped me to continue reaching that goal, to continue working towards those goals, but also how it has made a substantial impact in my life and how I know this is going to be something that I'm able to sustain and be able to see the impact and the effects of it long term. So the first goal that I want to touch on is my fitness goal, which is to have abs by April. Now, of course, super simple goal, abs April. Put them together. However, I understand that in order to get to that point, I have to have routines in place. But also with those routines, I'm not just going to stop. I'm not going to say, hey, April's here, my abs are here, okay, I'm done now, and they're just going to stay. If you have ever went on a fitness journey or set a fitness goal, you know that that's not quite how it works. You definitely have to continue working toward maintaining what you have achieved as you have gotten to that goal. So when I think back to the beginning, when I set that goal, I said, okay, I'm gonna have to make some adjustments to my lifestyle, but really instead of looking at them as adjustments, I can look at them as an enhancement. If you've watched a lot of my videos in my Jumpstart January series, I shared a week of workouts with me, and you saw that I'm kind of already in a fitness routine. However, that fitness routine was pretty much for maintenance, for my health overall. But if I have a specific goal of getting abs and getting them by a certain point, then I know that there's some changes and some enhancements that I'm gonna have to make in order to reach that goal. So these lifestyle shifts were definitely for this specific goal going to have to be related to my eating habits and then also my workout routine. So of course I'm like, okay, here's my goal, abs by April. What routines do I need to put in place related to my eating habits and my fitness? So the first thing that I did was start focusing on my eating habits, and I realized that I needed to track my food in a healthy way. So I started using this app. It is called MyPlate. It's super simple for me to follow. And so my routine is every single day, I enter what I ate for breakfast, lunch, dinner, my snacks, and my water intake. But the great thing is it's also connected to my Apple Watch. And so the fitness is already embedded, and that helps me to be able to see, okay, here is how much I am exerting every single day, the progress that I'm making with getting my steps in, with making sure that I'm working out regularly. That is right there in the app as well, so I can see that in relation to what I'm eating, but also most importantly, with what I'm eating, it's breaking it down into different food groups. And so I'm able to see like, hey, maybe I'm not having enough carbohydrates, or maybe I am having too much protein. And I can adjust accordingly because it's right there in front of me and I'm able to see that. And so the routine of tracking my food isn't something that I'm just gonna stop when April gets here. It's going to be a continual routine that's in my life. I know that tracking my food has been very beneficial for me, making sure that I am eating enough of what I need to be eating and not too much of things that are not going to help me reach my goals. And it's helping me to create a balanced diet overall. And I want to have a balanced diet to support my balanced lifestyle long term. The goal of Abs by April was then a catalyst to the routine of being able to track my food and make sure that I am eating for my body and nourishing my body in order to help it reach the goals and continue to be healthier every single day. Now, in relation to that, my fitness goal, I typically did a lot of things just to maintain. So like walking, dancing, Pilates. I was building, but I was building a little bit slower. So if I know specifically my goal is to have abs by April, then I know that I need to do more core exercises. So that doesn't mean I'm just gonna stop what I did before, or that my routine for fitness and exercise wasn't good to begin with. But now I'm enhancing, I'm adding on top of that a core finisher to each of my workouts. So now I know, okay, if I do or don't get to my goal of having abs by April, what can I do to continue to work toward that goal? And then once I get those abs, what can I do to continue to maintain them? And so now adding core finishers, doing more core workouts has made me stronger overall. Like even if the abs are not fully showing yet, I can feel them growing underneath. And I feel like that is just a very healthy thing for me in general to strengthen my core. It's so important for mobility and has a ton of other benefits as well. And so I'm going to continue to do these core workouts long term because I know the benefits and the impact that it's going to have on me. So the next example that I want to use is my personal goal, which was focused on skincare and to make sure that I had the best skin on my face and my body that I have ever had, and being really committed to upkeep with my skincare. So obviously we have all heard someone say, oh yeah, this is my skincare routine, because that is the important piece. You can't just do skincare here, there, and everywhere and then hope to see results. It has to be implemented long-term in a routine so you can actually see what's working for you, what adjustments or what enhancements you may need to make. So for me, I wanted to really figure out what products are making the biggest impact. Are there any products I can add to my routine? Are there any products I should take away from my routine? And you really have to go through a process of figuring out what works for you. And here's the fun thing about skincare, it does change from time to time. So you all know that I had struggled with my skin for quite some time until the pandemic, where I really had a moment to sit down and focus and build a skincare routine. And that has been working really well for me, but I also needed to know, like, what time of the day should I use this product? Maybe I can try it at night to see if it makes a difference. Should I add a different serum or some type of enhancement to improve the progress that my skin is making? So there's options to increase your goal towards something like skincare during 12 weeks, even if it's already something that you had set in stone. So for me, that's what I was able to do, was to enhance. But I know for a lot of people, they may struggle with skincare. They're not sure what to use. They only do it once a day or maybe a couple of times a week, and they're not super consistent with it. And so once you decide, hey, this is a goal that I want to reach, then you figure out what products you're going to use, and you create a plan and a schedule for how you're going to use them, how often you're going to use them, and track your progress to see the positive impact that it's making on your skin. Now, a big shift for me has been the body care portion of this. I was not really good at focusing on moisture and then also with treating my scar. I was like, well, I just have a scar, it's gonna be here forever. Well, we are about 9-10 weeks in and my scar is starting to fade because I created a routine. I put my scar treatment in my little drawer on my bedside table. Every single night when I open that drawer to take my medicine, oh, there it is. There's my scar treatment. So now I have a routine. It's part of my nighttime routine. If I'm taking my medicine, I'm getting out my bonnet for my hair. Oh, there's my skincare for my scar. So now I'm in a routine every single night. If I'm going to open my drawer to take my medicine or to get my book out, then I know I also need to put on my scar cream. And again, things like scars don't just fade overnight, and unfortunately they don't even fade in 12 weeks sometimes. So I have to be very consistent, and this is a long-term ongoing process that I will use. But now that I'm in a routine, it's super simple and it's second nature to me. And if something happens and I have another scar that I need to treat, I already know what routine I can follow in order to see that scar start to fade, because that's a personal goal for myself. So it's definitely worth it for me, even if it's like, it's such a simple thing like putting on scar cream. But yeah, that's the purpose. It is a simplified 12-week year. I want to do little things that are going to make big changes or impacts for me personally, and I'm ready to get rid of the scar. So it's one of the things that I am working toward, and having a routine makes it very easy for me to make sure that I'm utilizing that product every single night. I also wanted to share a quote from an article that I read recently, and it says, "Habitual actions lead to a successful life." And I feel like that is 100% true, especially if those habitual actions are positive. So you really have to be aware and committed to creating positive routines that are going to help you reach your goals. And not only just reach them and then stop, but also make that lasting impact to enhance and increase your health, happiness, and joy, or whatever you're trying to work on in life overall. Routines also aid in consistency. It's so much easier to be consistent and to follow through if you know exactly what you have to do. So the fact that you have a routine that is going to enhance your consistency automatically, because you don't necessarily have to think about it. It's something that you can do kind of like on autopilot. You know what needs to be done, go ahead and do it and take care of it. It's part of your routine. You've scheduled it and time blocked it into your day. And then the long-term benefits are what is going to make the biggest impact for you. You always want to think of the mindset of enhancement. It's not like, okay, here's my end goal. I've reached it. That's the end. Not necessarily. End in this sense means you've reached your goal, but that's the foundational piece. So what can you do to continue to build upon it, to enhance it, to make it even better, to get even stronger, to continue growing and get to thriving and beyond? So while the 12 weeks are such an important piece because it's building that foundation, I want you to think about how that foundation has led to routines that are going to impact your life overall. So if you know that you are trying out the 12-week year or really any goal setting process, and you feel like, okay, I've got my goals in mind, I've been working toward them, but I can't quite find that piece of consistency, or I need a little bit of help creating a routine to make this sustainable for me, that is completely understandable, and I am here and happy to assist you throughout that process. So if you're working towards something but you need a little bit of assistance, please feel free to reach out. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you're working toward and any ideas and things that you've tried, or where you may need some suggestions or tips to help you make adjustments. And I would be super happy to help you with that, answer those questions for you. And someone else who's watching this video or who's a part of this community may have a similar question as well. So we can definitely help each other out in those different areas. I want to help you reach your goals. I want to see everyone win. I want to see everyone be successful. And I want to see everyone learn to set goals and achieve them in a shorter amount of time, but in a simple way that's going to make it sustainable for you and really make a lasting impact on your life. Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you have not joined the community, please go ahead and subscribe, like this video so that more people will be able to see it. And as well, make sure you have your notifications on so that you can get your weekly doses of self-improvement every single Sunday. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Affirmations with Amber.